struggling with this piece a little bit, the Rachmaninoff Prelude in C sharp minor. And to be clear, she didn't ask for my help, so I'm not doing this to help her. She's doing great on her own. But these are my thoughts. And I made 10 points, and I'm going to go through them quickly because 3 minutes is not a long time. First of all, don't stretch. Stretching can be harmful. You want to keep your fingers loosely together as much as possible. Number 2, don't twist. These motions can aggravate problems in your carpal tunnel. Number 3, don't hover after you play a chord. You got to get to the next chord. And unless you're a chameleon with independent eyes, you can't move in leaps with both hands at the same time and be accurate. You got to move one hand at a time. And that's quick, but you can be accurate if you move one hand at a time. Next, direct your energy to movement solutions. You want to express anger or sadness or whatever with your music, but the goal is not to wallow while you're working. You got to do the work, not wallow in those emotions. It's not magic to be able to play hard music. You got to learn the motions. Number 5, in practice, process mistakes. In performance, ignore mistakes. What mistakes? All right, I got 5 more things. Number 6, depending on the venue you're playing for, leave notes out. I left out tons of notes in this, and there's 2 things. Rachmaninoff didn't care. He was playing for Pablo Casals once, and Pablo Casals was looking at the score and said, Rachmaninoff, you're not playing all those notes. And Rachmaninoff said, what, those? That's just for texture, so you can get an idea what it's supposed to sound like. I'm going to have to do a part 2. See you soon. Welcome to part 2. Okay, what I was talking about is to leave notes out when possible because A, Rachmaninoff wouldn't care if the texture and the sound feel right. And the next piece of that is that piano keys are too big. Piano keys are designed for the largest man hands. I don't have the largest man hands. You might not either. So don't avoid playing rep you want to play because it doesn't fit your hands. So for this piece, there's a lot of these 8-note chords, 4 notes in each hand. So I play the bottom 3 notes with my left hand and the top 3 notes with my right hand. And unless you're intimately familiar with this piece, I'll bet you didn't notice in that performance. For me, it was a question of, do I want to practice this piece for an hour to make this tick-tock, or do I want to practice it for 3 days? I don't want to practice it for 3 days, so I did what I had to do to play it in the time allotted. And guess what? You can do that too. Obviously, if you're getting ready to play at the Van Cliburn or something, you're probably not going to want to leave notes out. But if you don't have giant hands, you're going to have to figure out a way to do it, and muscling through is not an option. That's a great way to injure yourself, not to play beautifully. Number 7, don't manifest psychic pain as physical pain unless you're literally prioritizing pain as a goal over sounding great. This is supposed to sound like there's a lot of pathos. It's not supposed to be physically painful for you to play it. Number 8, organize your ins and outs. So if you are going to play the full chords, you need to know which hands are going to be out and when, and that depends on when you're going to need pinkies and thumbs on black keys. So for this first chord, this is left hand out, right hand in. For the next chord, left hand in, right hand out. For the next chord, left hand out, right hand in. So you want to organize that so you'll know where you're going from those low notes. Number 9, don't play too fast. It's marked lento. Slow. Number 10, if you need help, get it. A lot of people are too proud to take a lesson. And if your teacher isn't helping you, find another teacher who knows how to do it. For me, that's Sheila Page. She helps me with every technical piece of advice I need. Someone nurturing. That's what you need.
I wanna go.
I know she's being funny, but music teachers don't send your students home with musical scores that they either don't understand or that they can't play. That's the opposite of good teaching. What it teaches students is how to be confused and to be intimidated by musical scores. And I know she's talking about the Rachmaninoff Prelude, but this is a problem on down to very young students in their very first music books. Teachers help students with their audiation skills and their technical skills. Those skills will enable score reading skills. In this particular piece, the Rachmaninoff, the fourth stave layout makes a lot of sense. It actually makes it a lot easier to see the musical lines that are happening. However, it can still be very technically problematic because there are big chords covering a large swath of the piano, so you'll want to help them with that. But don't send them home confused about the score. It's your job to help them with that.